Good evening, everyone, and welcome to a meeting of Brant County Council of May the 14th, 2024. Attendance has been taken, noting that Councillor Garneau is on the line. Second thing on the agenda is our land acknowledgement. Councillor Miller is going to read that.
As we gather, we acknowledge that we meet on the lands and territory of the Mississauga Credit First Nation, Six Nations of the Grand River, and the traditional territory of the Attawandaron. Remind yourselves that the County of Brant is situated on lands that are full of rich Indigenous history and home to many First Nations, Inuit, and Métis people today. We recognize the significance of their contributions to the past, present, and future of this land. As a county, we have a shared responsibility for the stewardship of the land on which we live and work, and a commitment to the truth and reconciliation calls to action. We commit to continue learning, reflecting on our past, and working in allyship.
Thank you. Takes us to number 3 on the agenda, which is the approval of the agenda, noting that there's an addendum. Everyone has that. Anything else that we need to put on the agenda? Seeing none, Councillor Howes.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Oakley that the County of Brant Council agenda and addendum for May 14th, 2024 be approved.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Thank you. Declaration of pecuniary interest. Seeing none, move on to number 5, which is a delegation of Mr. Stewart, 5.1. Actually, just before we start, Mr. Stewart, we have an announcement here.
Through the mayor, I would just like to make an announcement that tonight will be Emily, our planner's last night presenting with us. Emily's off to Oxford County, so we want to take this opportunity to thank Emily for the last year and a half. It's been a great trip, and we wish her all the luck over in Oxford.
Thank you, and on behalf of council, thank you for all your hard work. And you're not finished yet, though. You've got a couple of things to finish off tonight, but thank you and good luck on your future. Okay, Mr. Stewart, 5.1.
Again, if I may begin, and to the mayor and council, I'm here in support of the application at 91 Brant School Road, which is in your agenda under 10.2. I'm here on behalf of the Winter family. I'll keep my comments as brief. We have reviewed the staff report. We find that the report is prepared in a professional perspective, and the proposed recommendation, which does indicate that it conforms with and is consistent with provincial policy, conforms to the official plan, and that the proposed bylaw attached reflects the request. On behalf of the Winter family, we appreciate staff and all they have done and have brought this here. And I'm here to ask council to support staff and support the application and pass the bylaw amendment. For council's information, once this has been approved by council, we will prepare an application to create the new residential parcel. Again, I'm here to support staff as well as answer any questions that council may have. Thank you.
Thanks, Mr. Stewart. Does anyone have any questions to the delegation? It's been before us before. Yep. What does council want to do with this? Councillor Pierce?
Move to receive and put to 10-2, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Seconded by Councillor Coleman. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Adoption of the minutes of the previous meeting, none. Business arising from the minutes, obviously none. Consent items, none. Committee reports, none. Takes us right to 10.1, which is, Emily, which is 10.1, which is Oak Park Road. The zoning bylaw. Can I get it on the floor, please? Councillor Howes, Councillor Oakley, thank you.
Okay, good evening, members of council. Just before I begin, I just want to thank everybody for your kind words, and it's a bittersweet moment, but thank you. Okay, so this evening I will be presenting zoning bylaw amendment applications at BA 3-24-ES for 640 and 644 Oak Park Road on behalf of Cheryl Waldick and Eileen Lane, currently in the town of Paris. So the subject lands are located east of Oak Park Road and south of Paris Road, and the property is surrounded by employment and agricultural land uses and surrounds a small cluster of low-density rural residential development that is at the intersection of Oak Park Road and Paris Road. The subject lands are designated rural residential within the County of Brant official plan, and the subject lands are zoned site-specific rural residential within the County of Brant. Oh, sorry, my apologies. They're designated general commercial within the County of Brant official plan and zone site-specific rural residential RR-9 within the County of Brant zoning bylaw 61-16. This site-specific zoning permits an oversized accessory structure. This minor zoning bylaw amendment application is required as a condition of approval for a lot line adjustment application that was approved by the Committee of Adjustment in 2023. The applicant is looking to rezone the lands from site-specific rural residential RR-9 to rural residential to remove the permissions for the oversized accessory structure on the lands that are to be conveyed to the neighboring parcel as part of the lot line adjustment. So to date, no comments have been received as part of the public circulation, and I am happy to answer any questions.
Thank you. Are there any questions to the planner? Seeing none, there's a recommendation in front of us to approve. Any other comments? It's on the floor. It's been seconded. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. We'll go to council. Takes us to 10.2, which is Emily again. And this is for 91 Brant School Road. Get it on the floor. Councillor McAlpine and Councillor Pierce. Thank you.
This is zoning bylaw amendment application ZBA 26-23-ES for 91 Brant School Road from Arcadis, care of Douglas Stewart on behalf of Arnold, Heidi, and Kurt Winter in the geographic township of Brantford. The subject lands are located southwest of Brant School Road and north of Old Onondaga Road East. Property is surrounded by agricultural and natural heritage land uses and surrounds a small cluster of low-density rural residential development along Brant School Road. Abutting the lands to the southwest is also an auto recycling facility. The total site area is approximately 72.5 hectares, with frontages split into sections of 192 meters to the north, 356 meters in the center, and 142 meters to the south, all on Brant School Road. The existing subject site is currently farmed as part of a larger farming operation. The subject lands are designated as agriculture, rural residential, and natural heritage within the County of Brant official plan and zoned as agriculture and natural heritage within the zoning bylaw. The northeastern corner of the property is currently designated rural residential and zoned agricultural under the current official plan. The applicant wishes to rezone this portion of the lands, approximately 0.95 hectares, from agricultural to rural residential to implement the direction of the current official plan, to sever the existing dwelling from the rest of the agricultural parcel. A future consent application would be required for the severing of the existing dwelling from the rest of the land to be retained as part of the agricultural area. Please note that should the severance be approved in the future as a result of the zoning bylaw amendment, a future dwelling may be permitted to be constructed on the agricultural parcel. noting that the future official plan designation would no longer permit any future severances on this parcel of land due to the new protected designation of countryside. To date, no comments have been received as part of the circulation, and I am recommending approval of the application based on the reasons outlined in my report, and I'm happy to answer any questions.
Council, any questions? Councillor Coleman?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I was there this afternoon looking at this property. And, so are you telling me that if this is granted, there can be a house built on the remaining agricultural land, but it cannot be severed off? Is that correct?
Through the chair to Councillor Coleman. So yes, there could be an additional dwelling that would be built on the agricultural part. There may be an opportunity for severance should there be a surplus farm dwelling severance that comes in the future as part of a consolidation. There is that opportunity, but in terms of severances for rural residential purposes, as part of this, under this official plan, if this zoning bylaw amendment is granted, future severance is granted, as well as under the new official plan, lot creation for rural residential purposes would not be permitted.
Councillor Coleman?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. So how many severances have we got off that parcel of land already?
Through the chair, as part of the application, staff did not look at the number of severances in terms of where that came from, but there is a cluster of around, I'm seeing, should this one be approved in the future, it'd be 6 off in the middle of that property.
No further comment.
Any other questions or concerns? Councillor Kyle?
Thanks, Mr. Mayor, through you to Emily. I think I echo what Councillor Coleman's kind of getting at, that while I understand what you're saying, Emily, that there is, there would be the opportunity, because that has been a concern in the past when they do a surplus farm dwelling severance that sterilizes that remaining parcel, and if someone purchases it, they can't put a house on it. To Councillor Coleman's point, then you're saying they could also then sever that new build out. Yeah. So I do definitely have some concerns with this one as well. I'll leave it at that.
Any other questions or concerns? Okay, we have a recommendation here to approve. All those in favor? Opposed? And it's carried. Oh, I didn't even look at Councillor Garneau. I'm sorry. Did you vote to approve? No. Okay. Did you get that? Thank you. Communications? None. Resolutions? None. Other business? Does anyone have any other business I should have asked at the beginning? Is there anyone that has anything to say for the betterment of the county of Brant? No. Which takes me to number 14. Councillor McAlpine, you're going to take us in camera?
Yeah, moved by myself and seconded by Councillor. Moved by myself and seconded by Councillor Chambers that the county convene in camera to discuss litigation, potential litigation, and advice that is subject to solicitor-client privilege. OLT Appeal 269 German School Road and 1760 Colburn Street East.
All those in favor? Okay, we're now going to go into camera. Thank you. Takes us to number 15 on the agenda, which is the bylaws. Councillor Pierce, you have them.
I do, Mr. Mayor, thank you. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Bell, that bylaws 36-24 to 38-24 be read a first time.
All those in favor of the first reading? Second reading, please, Councillor Pierce.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Bell, that the bylaws 36-24 to 38-24 be read a second time and all clauses and preambles be adopted.
Thank you. Are there any questions to 36-24 and 36-24 for the second reading? Seeing none, all those in favor? And the third reading, please, Councillor Pierce.
Mr. Mayor, moved by myself, seconded by Councillor Bell, that bylaws 36-24 to 38-24 be read a third time, passed, signed, and executed.
All those in favor of the third reading? That's it. Takes us to number 16 on the agenda, which is our next meeting will be Tuesday, May the 28th, 6 o'clock. Anything else for the betterment of the county? Councillor Bell?
Just a comment, Mr. Mayor, I will not be attending that next council meeting. I shall be on vacation celebrating my 50th wedding anniversary, or something close to it anyway.
Nice.
You don't have cable?
Sure I do. Have a word with my wife.
Any other questions or comments? Seeing none, call for a motion to adjourn. We are adjourned. Thank you. That was